So in this question, see, this is bending question, and question is very easy. A simply supported beam of length 3L is subjected to the loading as shown in figure. This question they asked in 2016 for 2 marks in set 1. So see the diagram here. In this diagram you can see the total length of the beam is given, L from here to here, then here to here, then here to here. So 3L is the length. It is mentioned also here as 3L, and it is given that load is 1 Newton. So here and here whatever load is acting, that is 1 Newton and 1 Newton. Okay, now you see total length L, that is 3L, and every L is 1 meter. So this is also 1 1 1. Then Young's modulus E value is given. Okay, the cross section is 10 into 10 square. It means what? When you will see the beam from this side in 3 dimension, so it will look like this. Suppose if I'll convert this beam into 3 dimension, so it will be like this, right? The cross section. So beam will look like this. So if you see from this side, it will look like a square. In this square, 1 into 1. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you look from the right side, the beam will look like square cross section. Okay, the beam will look like square cross section. Okay, so why the cross section is important for us? Cross section is needed to find out I value. Okay, now you know that we can find out I by using BH cube by 12 or by using HB cube by 12. Okay, so we should have the physical feel. I have given the trick, right? Cut cube. Okay, that trick will apply. But fortunately, even though if you are missing the trick, or even though if you are confused, then in this particular question no problem, because B is also 10 and H is also 10. So it means what? If any student is not very good with the concept of I, so no problem, because either you will do BH cube by 12 or you do HB cube by 12. Both answers will come same. So even though if a student is not good with the I concept, I mean moment of inertia concept, but he or she will be getting same answer. Now see, the bending stress we have to find out at a point A located the top surface of the beam at the distance of 1.5. It means what? You see from the left hand. So this is your left hand. So from the left hand you go to 1.5L. 1.5L means exactly here. So this is your point A. So we need to find out our bending stress. Get my point? What they are asking? Bending stress. So I have given you the formula. Bending stress is nothing but this trick you apply. Always remember my trick. May I show you extra round? Okay, now see, may I show you, only this much is enough for us. So this M means bending moment, I means moment of inertia of the cross section. Okay, so that you can find out 10 mm into 10 mm cube divided by 12. Okay, so this will be 10 to power 4 by 12 mm power 4, right? This will be your moment of inertia. Okay, now what about Y value? So see what is Y. So see here, we should know if this is the cross section, if this is the beam, okay, you are seeing the beam from the right side. So this is the cross section what you are seeing here. Okay, so this is also 10, this is also 10. So when you will apply the load on the beam, then beam will bend like this, correct? So it will bend about neutral axis. So this is your neutral axis. Okay, so from the neutral axis, whatever distance you measure, that distance is your Y distance. So they are saying from the neutral axis you have to go to the top fiber, because they are saying top, in the top. So the point A is located at the top, so somewhere here at the top. So Y value is nothing but 5 mm. Are you getting? Because total is 10, so Y is 5. So this M we know, and I we can find out, sigma we have to find out. Okay, sorry, M we don't know. Okay, so now our next job is I we can calculate like this. Y became 5, but what about moment? My point is, if you have any beam given, then if the beam looks like this, and here you have simply supported, here you have simply supported, and here you have point load and point load. So because of this, at every point you will be having different types of stress, like bending. At this section different bending. I'm talking about the bending moment. At this different section different bending moment, at different section different bending moment. So you have to find out that at point A what will be your bending moment. So that bending moment you will substitute in the formula may I show you, right? So that bending moment we have to find out. It means what? Our job is first calculate the bending moment. So if you want to calculate the bending moment, what is our basic nature to find out bending moment? Simple. First you find out the reactions. Okay, so you can see here your point is here your applied load is P, here your applied load is P, from here add distance, from here add distance, and in between also add distance, right? So this loading, you can see it is purely symmetrical loading, so no need to calculate even. We can simply think, oh, one thing, in hurry I am doing mistake. One force is upward force and one force is downward force. So this mistake I am doing in hurry. So it means what? You have the beam here and you have reaction R1 here and you have reaction R2 here, and this upward force is P and this downward force is P, and this distance is L, this distance is L, and this distance is L. Okay, our job is to find out R1 and R2. So how can we calculate R1 and R2? We have our basic idea. First, what is the first idea? You equate your forces. Vertical forces you equate, vertical forces you balance, right? Because horizontally we don't have any force. So you can see vertical forces, you see how many vertical forces you have. So the total vertical forces you try. Can you see how many vertical forces we have? One thing, this R1 and this R2, when you will add, it should be equal to how much? It should be equal to the applied loading from here. So you can see R1 plus R2 is giving you 0. Why it is giving you 0? Because upward force and downward force, they are equal and opposite. That's why total force applied at the it will be 0. Now same equation, some other student can think in this way. All the upward forces, for just to balance the vertical forces, I am saying all the upward forces you take positive, all the downward forces you take negative. Or some other students can say that all the downward forces take negative, all the upward take positive, and make the equation. Then how will you make the equation? R1 is upward, so plus R1. Then this P is upward, then plus P. Then this P is downward, then minus P. Okay, and then this R2 is upward, then plus R2 is equal to 0. So this P and this P will get cancelled. So you will be getting R1 plus R2 is equal to 0. There are so many ways to make this equation. Okay, one equation done. But in this equation problem, what is the problem? R1 is also unknown, R2 is also unknown. That's why we need another equation. So another equation we can find out with the help of moment. Very simple. So about any point you can calculate the moment. So let's calculate the moment. So choose this point, the left corner. So this is the beam. Here you have R1 and here you have R2. So about this point, let's find out moment. One force is here and one force is here, right? So this is also P, this is also P. So let's find out moment. How can we calculate moment? I'm trying to calculate moment about this. So if you'll find out moment about this, then of course moment because of R1 will be 0. It means what? You will be finding out the value of R2 from the equation. How can we do that? You see, R2, what is the nature of the moment which is produced because of R2? R2 will take the beam like this, so which will make sagging. Sagging means positive. So plus 3 R2 into L. What my point is, R2 is acting at 1L here, 1L here, 1L here, 3L. So I can write 3R2L, correct? I should write like this. I should write R2 is the force into 3L is the distance, okay? Then we have to go for moment because of P. So you can see this P is taking the beam downward, so which is hogging, right? So that should be minus sign, yes. So then you should write the load is P and it is acting at distance 2L. So P into 2L, okay, done. Now you come to this force. So this force is again taking the beam upward, so again sagging, so again positive. So P into L is equal to, so total should be 0. So you got the value of R2. What is the value of R2? If you calculate minus 2PL and plus PL, it will be giving you minus PL. So take minus PL right side and LL will get cancelled. So P by 3 will be your final R2. P by 3 is your final R2. Now, already we have got equation R1 plus R2 is equal to 0. So this R2 value we can substitute here and we can find out R1 value, right? So your R1 is equal to minus R2. It means what? Minus P by 3. It means what? We got all the forces. We got R1, R2 also, we got R1 also. R1 is minus P by 3. It means reality is we have considered R1 upward, but in the real life R1 is acting downward with this much magnitude P by 3. Okay, minus sign means that. Okay, now this is not our job. Our job is to calculate shear stress. See, I will explain what is our job. You read the question again. We have to find out bending stress, not the shear stress, sorry, bending stress at a point A. Where is the point A? This is your point A. You can see where the point is located. The point is located in the upper layer of the beam, correct? What I mean, see, I will draw in 3D. This is the beam, right? So in the upper layer somewhere here you have A, okay? You have so many fibers here. Suppose this fiber, then you have this fiber, you have this fiber, you have so many fibers. But from the neutral axis, suppose this is your neutral fiber. So from the neutral axis, you have to go y distance up. That distance is the distance of that fiber in which your point A is located, right? So point A is located in the top fiber. How will you know? It is mentioned here that A is located at the top fiber, top surface. So that's why this is how we can calculate our y value. So y value, this total is 10, so y value is 5. Okay, so that is fine, but our job is that at this section, if you cut the beam at this section, what is your bending moment? Bending moment, are you getting? Because bending moment we need to solve the equation. May I show you equation, right? So in this we need m value. So this m value, how will you calculate? So see, there are two ways. Either you draw mathematically, like at this section, how will you calculate bending moment? So that bending moment is because of this force P and because of this reaction R2, correct? So at this, so this is your L by 2 distance and this is your L distance. So this, for the R2 at this point, you find out bending moment at point A. How will you calculate? That is because of R2. So R2 into, what is the distance? L into L by 2, so 3L by 2, correct? But this will be positive or negative? So of course this will be positive. How will you know this is positive? Because this R2 is taking the beam like this, so sagging, right? Then that's why it is plus. Then you go for P. So this P is taking beam downward, so it is hogging shape, so minus. So P into L by 2. So this is the total answer what we are getting, bending moment at point A. So now you see, this R2 value we already know. Just now we have calculated as P by 3, correct? So if you put P by 3 here into 3L by 2 minus this P into L by 2, so you can see this P and P will get cancelled, right? So this is being PL by 2, this is also being minus PL by 2. So total answer 0. It means what? In the fiber, your bending moment is 0, correct? So if bending moment is coming as 0, then this value became 0, so this ratio became 0, so multiply y became 0, so shear stress became 0. I mean bending stress became 0, right? So bending stress became 0. It means what? No need to calculate I, no need to bother about y. The first job is calculate m itself. So what is the value of m? So here we got fortunately m0, so that's why your bending stress is 0. Are you able to understand properly? Very good.